Imagine hating your enemy so much that you are willing to get into a marriage with him, just so you can burden him financially and emotionally. What you see here in this panel are two sworn enemies before they were sent to their demise by author Sama. The girl holding a big, long and girthy stick is the heroine of the story, and in front of her is our boy, Sagiga Chad. Now they are your average high school students who are going to collaborate with each other for the first time. Multiple magic circles that look like Celtic symbols appear out of thin air, making geometry students very happy. The atmosphere surrounding the pair trembles as the plot thickens. Since now they are no longer enemies, they can enjoy each other's precious parts, her big, long stick and his enormous, hard slab. Let's go back a few centuries to see what the f*** happened. In a vast open area, we see many platoons of soldiers in classic square formations. A battlefield emerges between two sides. In it, black and white men are battling with their long sticks, trying their best to fend their dignity and honor, for if one is impaled by another, it will indeed be very sad. With a sudden explosion, a bridge got sent to Narnia out of nowhere. Now no one can cross the river into the battlefield. The perpetrator is the hero of Altine, our MC. He shows up in dark-coloured full-plate armor sets and a great sword taller than average guys on Tinder. Above him, we see a girl in white hair riding a big rod. From this angle, our boy can surely see her goodness underneath. Her name is Elria, the Sage. As we know, it is absolutely crucial for an internationally known mage to dress like a typical high school girl with mini skirt. Elria's entire reason for being here is to show off her AP geometry skills to Hiro Sama. She took a few lessons here and there after their last date. She aims to blast his ass off with dashing circles and triangles. Today's rendezvous will be their 629th battle. Hopefully they will finally be able to figure out who is the top and who is the bottom. As much as the hero wants to finish off Elria, he could not do so due to the dev's outstanding balancing patch. I don't know how many times they have to duel, but I sure am confident she can finish me off in one battle. Backstory time. He is Reid, the hero of Altane, and he has never known defeat. She is Elria, Sage of Vegalta, and she too has never known defeat. And when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, we will see whatever is known as skill-based matchmaking. Sadly, matchmaking has time limit. Before they can figure out who is the better player, something unexpected happened. Many years into the future, Reid is suddenly informed that his elf enemy Waifu has met her creator. The information must be accurate because it came directly from a spy that is in Vegalta's forces. Reid was certain he would pass before Elria does because he is only human, but she is an elf. The higher-ups are not willing to let this precious chance go either. They ordered the hero to advance into the Vegalta Empire to take advantage of the chaos, ending the long war once and for all. Throughout countless battles in the many decades, all the soldiers have learned that truthfully, both the hero and the sage wish for peace. They always opt to engage in old-fashioned solo-me-mid to avoid collateral damages. However, the government officials are so detached as usual. None of them gives a shit about consoling the old man, however he may feel. The feeling and respect is so strong among the soldiers that Liat, Reid's second-hand man, cannot hold back his tears. Hearing his subordinates' moving words, the hero decides that it is no time to idle on a chair. Instead, he must strip now so he may go see his dead elf waifu and pay his respect. The Gigachad strips down and walks out of the tent with confidence. Not only did MC leave his armor behind, he also did not carry his trusted colossal sword. Thus begins his one-man walking journey to the enemy empire. Reid is now close enough for archers of Vegalta to fire their barrages. With his right arm, the hero alters the arrow's trajectory and pushes them to the side. Those are some strong right hand. Just how lonely does one have to be to gain such power? Finally, MC had enough. He starts sprinting so fast towards the castle wall, breaking the sound barrier. Since the battle happened before Newton, gravity wasn't invented yet. Old man starts Naruto running vertically on the wall. In less than a second, he scaled the castle wall. Many faceless novice mages ambush the MC, only to have their magic spell easily deflected by a simple swipe to the right. It is within Reid's natural instinct to attack his aggressor, but in this case, he bears no animosity. Before his fist obliterates the poor elf NPC, Reid hesitates and stops himself. As an old man once said, in the time Reid stopped his movement, he is hit on the back with several icicles. The attacker bears a strong hatred towards the MC. She sounds rather disappointed to see Reid of all people showing up at this timing, right after the death of Elria the Sage, the one he should respect the most. In fact, Reid himself knows the attacker personally. She is Tiana, the one and only disciple of Sage Elria. As if he is a parent dealing with a child's temper tantrum, MC does not fight back or dodge her attacks. He allows more icicles to pierce through his body, severely injuring his stomach and left shoulder. Despite these almost fatal injuries, the Giga Chad still stands with no visible signs of discomfort. He just stood there menacingly. His Sigma energy is so strong that little Tiana fainted from the sheer essence of Lord Reid. The top G then proceeds to f*** off and leaves the scene. He wants no trouble. He is simply here to bid a farewell to an old friend and enemy. Knock knock, who's there? We have been trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty. Our dude walks into the enemy's palace uninvited like he owns the place. He politely asks the gathering crowd to remove themselves from his vision and take a paid vacation. Shockingly, the hero Reid declares he has no intention of fighting for now and is willing to leave this world as soon as he is done talking to his rival Sage. Finally, after so many obstacles, Reid arrives before Elria, who is peacefully lying in her coffin. MC kneels onto the ground with one knee and starts bidding his final words with his one and only equal. Even after 50 years of flesh-to-flesh combat, the pair isn't able to determine who is top or bottom. What a shame. Perhaps in a parallel universe where the position is different, they can be close friends. Maybe there they can have a friendly match to see who is truly superior once and for all. With a wonderful memory that never existed flashing in his mind, the hero of Altane Empire, Reid Frieden, finally falls onto the ground, not on any battlefields, but in front of his greatest rival and the one who perhaps understood him the most, Sage Elria. The end. Just kidding. Did you not see the thumbnail of this episode? We clearly just started. How is this a manga in the 2020s without some sort of reincarnation bullshittery? So in the next page, we see a dumb kid being born conveniently named Reid. He is experiencing the same level of confusion now as a recent college graduate who just realized they now owe the IRS money for existing. Reid's consciousness tells him that he should have died an old man in front of his arch-nemesis. Instead, what greets him is a nice bottle of nectar de Bubaria. It is now 18 years later because author Sama doesn't want to draw some diaper-wearing kid dangling in the forest or risk getting dragged around by FBI to a little dark room. I am sure it is not because he just wants to reuse his previous character design of the main character, or anything of that sort. The new Reid just conveniently looks exactly the same as the old Reid in his prime before the reincarnation. Anyways, Reid now carries a huge axe on his shoulder. He has assimilated into the village he is born into and fully embraced his role as a lumberjack. With a quick and clean sweep motion, he cuts down a thick lumber with ease. Same as last life, Reid is unable to use magic at all. However, he seems to have retained some level of above-average strength. Just when MC is about to relocate the lumber, the villagers discovered a fluffy ball inside the wooden log. A cute squirrel. Apparently, it was not just any squirrel. It was a new species never to be seen in this world, a discovery worthy of press coverage. Boring and uneventful it may be, it is a far more peaceful life Reid is living right now. Unluckily for our boy, a familiar-looking white hair girl has her full focus on a newspaper with Reid's face printed on it. The next morning, Reid is woken up by a scream from her mother. Mum shakes his body in confusion and asks what he has done out of the ordinary. Some noble from the capital asked Reid in name to visit the chief's house immediately. Though there is no recollection of any interaction with any noble so far in MC's boring little life. None of these seems surprising at all to Reid. No matter. What can be more shocking than waking up and realizing that 1,000 years has passed? The Altane Empire he once devoted his life to is long gone, and is absorbed as part of Vegalta. Meanwhile, magic is no longer exclusively used by the elites or the military, but can now be practiced by everyone in life. Being a mentally 90 years old man is another reason for the high mental stability. Nothing should faze him easily, except this failure of a mother. With these two in the same frame, one would wonder who the parental figure really is. Reid takes an excuse and leaves his pathetic mother behind, heading towards the village chief's place. The news that Reid might have done something that offended a noble has spread the little town like wildfire. The clueless MC cannot care less and keeps walking like a Giga Chad. He stops in front of the chief's house and notices a magic-powered first-generation Ford Model T parked neatly. Chief Baldy rushes in front of Reid lightning fast, putting all Olympic athletes to shame. He shakes Reid's body back and forth, asking what MC has done to possibly anger a noble from the royal capital. We learn that the noble is some sort of a big shot related to the royal family's blood. The noble said nothing but a vague message saying Reid will understand everything the moment they meet. Enough said, Reid enters the room. In the room is a white hair girl with the very same hairstyle and hair clip as the very same sage Elria herself. Despite his strong mentality, MC seems to be stunned for once finally. His eyes are now wide open, and his mind goes blank for a few seconds before he is called by the girl again. Reid soon realizes his inappropriateness and apologizes for being single for too long. It is the first time he has talked to a girl, so he does not know how to act accordingly. The unexpected honorifics in Reid's speech unsettle the girl a bit. It is only natural for MC to use honorifics when speaking to a noble from the renowned Caldwin family. Reid then proceeds to act as if he has no idea who the girl is, before finally spilling the beans. Disappointing a girl and disrupting her expectations, before revealing the original expectation to act as a surprise. Such a textbook pickup artist move by Reid. Maybe the readers can learn a trick or two. No more bullshit. The two parties have now revealed their true identities. This is more progress than most other reincarnation mangas that make me want to burn the chapter down for dragging on for too long. The Elria Caldwin standing in front of Reid is indeed the same sage Elria from a millennia ago. She has a combined mental age of around 200 years. As much as Reid would like to prove his identity to Elria, he does not have the means to do so since he knows so little about her personally. A great idea pops into Elria's mind suddenly. If mouth does not do the talking, let the fists do the talking. As long as Reid can dispel the magic cast by the sage, he can prove his identity. MC brings Elria to an open field where he works as a lumberjack. Here he plows the fields and chops woods, living his life as a common villager to the fullest. Not that he only wishes to do mundane tasks, but because Reid, just like his previous self, cannot cast magic. However, he seems to have unlocked the new Game Plus mode, carrying over his full stat from previous save without the equipment. Without wasting more ink, Elria decides to shut up and cast a large fireball with the thick rod she is holding tightly between her hands. MC readies for the ball in a special stance. He then proceeds to punch the ball so hard that it explodes. Wise Reid once said, "If you see ball, punch it until it explodes. If it doesn't, punch harder." That short exchange concludes the 63-29th battle they have drawn so far. It also concludes Reid's identity as the hero Elria knows and respects so much. What are the chances for a fate rival pair to reincarnate into the same world around the same time? Elria did so first, so she just assumed Reid might eventually arrive in the world too. When Little Sage saw the newspaper about the squirrel, she instantly recognized Reid's face from the crowd. Certain mystery still remains. The concept of reincarnation is what Elria calls inheriting all of the memories from a previous life into the next life. But this is not an active choice Elria has made using her magic. She's only aware of the concept, but is unable to use it in practice. It makes Elria somewhat frustrated having something she cannot explain or understand happen to herself. That said, while most of her features stayed the same, some are different. Yes, indeed, your elf waifu has now been downgraded to human. Her ears are different. Elria is reincarnated as a human, thus they now have matching ears. The little sage switches the topic to Reid's inability to use magic. When Reid was little, his examination device combusted the moment he touched it, resulting in an instant disqualification. So rather than creating more trouble, he chose to stay quiet in a countryside, where it is far more peaceful than anywhere in his previous life. Though Reid himself is fine, Elria does not seem to be happy with how things are. She wishes her longtime rival to at least be recognized by people to be at the same caliber as her. That said, she seems to have a genius idea. She then proposed on the spot. She wants to not only mentally torture her rival in the past life, but also this one. By becoming the fiancé of the famous Caldwin family, Reid can bypass the result from Magic Aptitude Test and enter the Magic Academy's assessment directly. A bold and perfect plan thought out by the sage herself. However, before accepting the proposal, they still have one thing to figure out. Who is the top and who is the bottom? To figure this out, please check out the rest of the manga. This concludes Chapter 1 of the manga. There are currently 17 chapters in total available for your enjoyment. The title is in the pinned comment below. Usually we upload weekly. If you liked this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching until the very end.